doing now is really the first bread I ever made for television. It's the original breakfast muffin bread. And the beauty of this bread, or muffins, we're making muffins, all right, is that you can give your loved one a muffin and it has the whole breakfast in it. If they're on their way to school, people are busy today, just give them a muffin and off they go. All right, so let's start with this one. And this, we're going to use grains. You can use oatmeal, like we did before on the first dress bread, but we can use the grains. There's 3, there you go, 3 1/2 makes a cup and a half.
Yes.
And you're a math teacher, so. All right, we can open that for me. I'm going to put a 1/2 cup of flour in. So pretty much a similar recipe to the one we did before, except now the baking soda and baking powder changed. I think you will read that to see that it only takes a teaspoon of baking powder, am I correct?
Yes, and a half.
And a half, the same 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. All right, these are the rising ages. I like to just kind of mix it around with this little, you know, this little spoon here. And why I love these so much, and I'll show these on camera, is because I can read what it says. A lot of times you'll buy an aluminum type of thing that it's hard to read what your measurements are. Okay, so come on over here, Lisa. We're going to just come over and finish up this recipe. Go ahead and crack 2 eggs. Right, there you go. 1.
Yeah, I'm getting good at this one.
Yes, you are. Do you think I'll make a baker out of you? What do you think?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Okay, there you go. There's 2. Now, do you remember what comes next? I can tell you. 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And there it is. And here's your 1/2 cup. All right. So in this bread, you're seeing that we've put grains, which is good cereal, right? We've put eggs. That's part of breakfast, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Put a little oil. That's okay. A little, like margarine or oil is fine. And we're going to add a cup of sugar again. I'll do that from here. Okay. There it goes. Now, you can mix that up with that fork. Give it a good mix. Let the camera catch you mixing really good. Go ahead. There you go. Really hard. Go ahead. Okay. Good. Now, liquid. This is the liquid. And the sugar, as you see, turns to liquid, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Isn't that amazing? Okay, look on the recipe, and I'm going to put in orange concentrate. And Lisa, I just need you to tell me the amount of.
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of orange concentrate. Look what I'm doing here. So there's orange juice in the bread, isn't there? Hmm?
Yeah.
Is that part of breakfast? Usually?
Yes.
Okay, a little vitamin C. We'll mix this around again. Is there any water, or that's the end of
That was the end.
That was the end, all right. Easy recipe, isn't it? Not too much. I'm just going to pour this into here. All right, like this. And I'm going to let you stir it around again.
Okay.
Go ahead, dear. There you go.
My pleasure.
Okay. And here you go. And I'm going to show you how I stir. Like I taught Alexander, I do an 8, you see this? 100. And you know why? It takes away all the flour, you know, from the sides, and then I get the mix. Go ahead. There you go. Okay, now you can really mix it, because I've done the 800, so the flour's off the side, so it should be. There you go. And that's all you have to really mix. This is not a terribly difficult bread.
No.
No. Okay. Let's put in the good stuff that we all like.
Okay.
Do you like apricots?
I love apricots.
All right, how much shall we put in? How much does that say?
1/2 cup of apricots.
All right. I'm just putting in chopped apricots, right? These are wonderful. Apricots have lots of iron in them. And what else? I think white raisins are in there, yes? They're right here.
1/2 cup.
And I happen to love white raisins. You can put dark raisins in. And I think maybe that's why I like white wine and not red wine. So it depends on the person, so you can use either. And what else? Some nuts, right?
1.5 cups.
1.5 cups. So here we go. 1/2 cup and another 1/2 cup. And I'm holding out 1/2 cup again. If you're reading the recipe, on the bottom there in small print, it says so we can sprinkle it on the bread after we've made the bread. And 1/2 bag of
cranberries.
Cranberries. This is very nice and colorful. And I'm just going to mix it like this. That's the end of the bread. Was that terribly difficult?
Not at all.
So in other words, if we make this, you know, and make, how many muffins do we get? I think 18 small muffins, right? And if we give a muffin, in the morning to our little children as they go off to school. Do you think that would be okay if they don't have time for breakfast? All right, so we're going to, here are the muffin tins. All right, what I've done is I line my tin with aluminum foil, and you know why?
So you don't have to clean up later?
That's right. Makes it much easier. And I'm going to just let you place. All right, these are the big muffins. I'm going to come to that in a minute.
So we want the little
little
muffins?
ones first, because these can make little muffins or big muffins. It doesn't matter. The baking time is just the same, 36 minutes on a 350-degree oven, as the recipe says. There you go. Now what I'd like you to do, watch, put the paper inside the foil. Make sure it has a paper. Right, there you go. Okay, that's good. That's good. And here are the other muffin tins, which are lovely. I couldn't get these in New York. I found them at the show in the Javits Center in New York during the baking, the food show actually, and they come from California. So these are wonderful. These bake, you just put the ingredients, your muffins right into here. That's enough. 6 of those are fine.
Okay.
And we just put it like this. Look at this. It's so simple. Like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It will rise and it will settle. And those. And now we're going to show the finished product while you are filling those, all right?
Okay.
I'm going to come over to my basket over here. And here are the finished. Lisa, you can look at these. These are the finished, just what we've made.
Delicious.
These are the breakfast muffins. If you've got a bigger child or a fella, a husband or a wife that doesn't have time for breakfast, here, take this and nibble it on the train if you really don't have time for breakfast. But there you go. And thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Mom.
And we're going to go on to other recipes later on, but I want to thank you so much for filling in.
My
Loved your
pleasure.
company, and it's always fun to work with a daughter. There will be others on the show and other surprise guests.
Okay.
All right. Well, here we are. We're on another segment of the cookbook, and I'm going to thank